Meeting called to order. It is now Tuesday, April 25th at 6:41 p.m. Why does she? This is actually just a budget hearing, correct?
Yes.
So I don't know why we'll do prayer and pledge allegiance at the council.
Well, then we go
We're
into
gonna-
the sewer commission meeting after that.
Don't you close this one and then go into the sewer commission?
This is a public hearing on your sewer budget.
All right, this is a sewer budget, then we'll go into,
Correct.
we'll save that one for later.
Okay.
So this is public hearing, I'm closing.
Public
executive
hearing,
session
yes. I hit the wrong
No,
one.
we do it
No.
one.
No, after.
4 meetings.
Okay, Ernie.
I'm gonna let Christine, you wanna read that, Christine, the executive summary a little bit?
The wastewater enterprise fund budget for fiscal year 2018 is $8,267,193, which is a 2.3 increase from fiscal year 17. The proposed budget includes the following increases. Usage collections will remain set at 3.55 per 100 cubic feet for West Warwick reserve users with a 4,000 cubic foot minimum charge per unit. Usage and collections will be set at $3.55 per 100 cubic foot for intermunicipal users with a 4,000 cubic foot minimum charge per unit. New employee and maintenance collection system, 9.4% increase in pension cost, potential retirement of an employee, an 8% increase in Blue Cross Blue Shield, Delta Dental, pre-funding OPEB, annual insurance costs.
So, what I kinda wanna hit on is the West Warwick rate, we're not changing, it's the same as last year. The 355 per 100 cubic feet or 0.0355 per cubic foot. With the 4,000 cubic feet minimum, it's actually 5,000, but we give the 20% reduction on the water bills. So it's based on 80% of the water usage. And so that's the same. The only thing that have really changed is the regional users. They were always charged at a higher rate, but not charged with the minimum rate. So this year we've gone and we've leveled the field, and they will be paying the minimum rate as well. So they'll be paying the 5,000 cubic feet with their 20% reduction. So they're paying the 4,000. And then everything on top of that. So if they used 8,000 cubic feet, say they used 10,000 cubic feet, they'd be given 20% off. So they'd be down to 8,000. The 4,000 is the minimum, would be 142, and then they would have to pay 355 for every 100 cubic feet on top of that. But the lowest that the sewer bill would be the 142 for the 4,000 cubic feet plus the debt service. And the debt service is staying the same.
And tell them how much more or how much we lose by doing this. That's the numbers they want to hear. In other words, for us,
We're not losing
bringing their
anything.
rate, okay,
We're not losing anything.
and we're not
And
getting,
that was the whole idea was, Coventry and Fred will let you know on this too. Coventry has been, since I've been here in 2012, has been on us every year on why they were paying a higher sewer rate. And it's really hard to explain why they're paying a higher sewer rate.
it's very simple, because they're bringing up to us, we have the headache, they don't.
Correct, but they did,
answer to them
but they did
for the
pay
past
debt
11
service.
years.
They did pay debt service just like a West Warwick resident did. So what I tried to do was to get it down to the same rate as a West Warwick user, but they're also going to be paying. So everything is even now, as far as the usage rate.
And we were talking debt service, are they paying by unit?
They pay their own debt. They don't. If they're a West Warwick user, they pay our debt service. If they're a Coventry user, then they've already paid their debt service by the phosphorus upgrade, for an example. They pay their portion of that debt.
What's the fee? What's it, 121 per unit?
142.
142?
That's the minimum rate.
So minimum rate is 142 per unit.
Correct.
Have we looked at possibly changing that? Because, and I know during this last budget, it was brought up. And I think a lot of residents, when they first saw their first bill, they were kind of shocked because they were always based on usage of water.
Correct.
And now, if a two-family house, I'll use one of my constituents on Green Street, They have a washer, a dryer, two-family home. They used less than 4,000 cubic feet of water.
Impossible.
Well, she showed me her bill, she showed me her previous bills, and, you know, being 80 years old, I don't think she's doing anything illegal. But she shows me that, you know, now she sees $142 difference in her bill automatically, but not only for that one, but also for her other one, because it's two-family, she basically saw a drastic increase, an increase on over 100%, because she got the $142 for her other house, in the house, I mean, the apartments. So she basically said, what is this? And Angela brought something up last week in our council, in our budget hearing, saying, well, these two families are the users and the most users. Well, we only have one sewer pipe coming in, one sewer pipe going out, and we have water that we judge each customer by, but yet we're gonna charge each unit basically a minimum usage. And both those units may not use this, you know, 8,000 gallons of cubic feet of water, especially if you got a couple of elderly people in a house. You know, if they're only using shower once a day, you know, toilet 2-3 times a day, whatever it may be, is it fair to have that rate? That was the question that was brought up last year, and it was brought up throughout the year. To me, like, especially like when you see Royal Mills, they have a water bill, whatever that water bill is, but now they're being charged for 200 and something units at $142, which not everybody's even there full time. So that's why that's a big concern.
Which is what we discussed extensively last year
Yeah,
with the fixed costs.
and it was brought up
There's
here
a cost of
during our
running
budget
that
session.
treatment plant.
Yep.
And the calculation that I came up with this year is like 166, and we're only charging 142. If it's a fixed cost, we have to keep reserve there for those 2 apartments or those 100 apartments, whatever it is. We have to keep that reserve there. It fluctuates from year to year. This year they could use 4,000. Next year they could use 10,000. I have to have that capacity for them. So there is such a thing as a fixed cost. That's all I'm saying.
And can I just say, if you have a two-family unit, you can have 2 families living in one house, as opposed to a one-family residence. So to charge each unit, it's per family, and that's why we did it that way.
It's also,
Just like debt service is paid per unit.
I think just about every other plant in the state does the same thing.
Oh, I'm not
because you
arguing,
have
but
to.
it was definitely
It
a
is
big
the most
shock. It was a
equitable.
shell shock to a lot of people.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You know, it was, you know, especially the elderly that we talk about raising their taxes $94 a
Right.
year. We hit them with $142 a year. You know, just without any warning. But that was okay last year. You know, that's my concern. I mean, I know Councilman Kennahan and I are both
They won't see any increase
very
this year.
vocal about it.
They won't see any increase this year.
No.
Question I have is, why are we giving another town the same rate that we have?
Because they've paid for that treatment plant just like we did. They've paid their debt service. Whenever that treatment plant's expanded, whether it be Coventry, Cranston, Warwick, whoever it may be, a regional partner, they pay that debt service. Whatever, you know, if they have 20% of the capacity, they pay 20% of the cost of the debt service. If West Warwick has 60%,
Guaranteed.
if West Warwick has 60%, they pay 60%. So it's based on what you use for flow.
Questions I've ever heard in
Okay.
my life.
Full moon was like 2 weeks ago, I think. Full moon was 2 weeks ago.
But I can, you know, Fred just hit on it. I think in your package there are, you can look at other rates from other communities.
Under revenue. It's under the revenue.
It's under the revenue. And we did this the last couple of years.
And the reason, and if you remember, what really sunk in last year was what it cost us to bring that sewer line to that residence. And the people who were paying more than their fair share to absorb the cost that they were not paying. And that went on and on. So you had 10 pros and probably 3 cons. So that's when we decided that was the best way for the community not to feel the hit on everybody.
No, I know that there was discussion of people playing with the water meters. There was all sorts of different things that we talked about. I understand a minimum usage, whatever it may be.
I mean, Bernie
I'm still
explained
low.
what it costs just to flush a toilet and brush your teeth every morning.
Well, like I said, when I some people ask, there's one electric meter on your house. National Grid doesn't hit you for 2 debt services.
No, they get you for
They get you for
fuel
all that.
charge,
Well,
delivery charge.
Oh, we got the same thing. Look at our
Charge
bill.
for breathing air, charge for going to the bathroom.
No, but what I'm
That's what
saying,
Grid-
what I'm
Grid
saying
gets you.
is, you know, that's, they're not charging you for 2 electrical services, they're charging you for 1. So that's why I was, and people ask, and I just, you know, so there are people watching right now probably saying, what are we talking about? But
Well, this is the first hearing, so, you know, I'm open to direction here. If that's not acceptable, we'll go back and we can look at it a different way, but my honest is, that's the fairest way to do it. I mean, there is a fixed cost down there.
any questions for Bernie?
If I can just, there is an increase in one position, and I just kind of wanted to explain that a little bit. And I know, Dave, you got a letter from the state as far as staffing at the treatment plant. They're concerned about that. So that's why that's in there. We're going in 2008 or 2000, I think, and I have it here. There was 24 employees. Right now we have 19, I think it is. So we have reduced it significantly since then, but we've also seen, we have a 2008 CMOM EPA requirement that we have to maintain the collection system. That's not getting done. We've seen insurance claims rise in the last few years. They went from, let's say, $20,000 in 2010 to $60,000 last year. So we're seeing those backups. The plan is to bring this person on, add them to our maintenance staff, have a full-time collection system crew that is out there in the streets every single day, between cleaning the lines and inspecting the lines, cameraing the lines, and get some of these.
Dave, send the letter back, see how much they're giving us to pay for this guy. What's the cost that they're to do business, what they want us to do? Right?
So that's the
They want
biggest, that's my,
Pay for it.
State when things state mandated.
that's, you know, I just wanted to make sure you understood that.
Yeah.
But I do have insurance deductibles, 2010, 2011, $1,000. And we had 24 employees, I think. 2015, 2016, $67,110. We paid on insurance claims for backups into private houses. That's what, if we can cut that down 50%, then, you know, it just cut 30,000 off of that. It's gonna help pay for that person. And we're also gonna be able to take care of the collection system.
Again, you're more, with this budget here, you're more of a private entity.
Correct.
And you're getting your tax rate, you're not taxing, per se, raising the taxes on the collections this year.
No.
As long as you stay within your budget, I don't see a problem with it.
That's what I said, I got no problem with anything that doesn't go up.
Well, you got them. We can, you know, we have another meeting next month.
I wanna thank you and Christine.
If you have any questions between now and then, you know, give me an email or give me a yell and I'll do my best to answer it.
Thank you, Bernie.
All right?
Good job.
Thank you.
See, Mike, you can get home for supper.
All right, you have a motion to adjourn, we can start at
Any-
7.
Motion
any
to
comments
adjourn.
from the public?
Second the motion.
All right,
Do I have any comments from the public on the sewer department? Budget hearing. Nope. Motion to adjourn. Do I have a motion to adjourn
You
again?
made the
I
motion.
made it.
All right, make it
Motion
again.
to adjourn.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. 7 o'clock sewer commission meeting.
5 minutes. I'm gonna go to bed.
Well, machine.
Thank you.
I guess all wet, I got soaked outside.
I don't know, Mike. No, Mike, 3 days ago?
Please.
Meeting called to order. Today is Tuesday, April 25th. It is now 7 o'clock. Town council meeting is a sewer commission. John, we lead us in prayer.
Heavenly Father, we come together this evening as devoted stewards, determined to lead and mindful of our purpose. Guide our hearts and our minds in the decisions that we make in all matters that come before us. Bless this meeting with your divine presence and guide our actions as this council works to serve the good people of West Warwick. Amen.
Angela, you just want to pledge allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Council President Goslin.
Here.
Council Vice President D'Amico.
Here.
Councilman Padula.
Here.
Councilman Messier.
Here.
Councilman Licciardi.
Here.
Participating communities: Town of Coventry, Town of Situate, City of Cranston, City of Warwick, Town of West Greenwich. We have a quorum on record. Minutes of the previous meeting. Resolved that the minutes of the March 21st, 2017 Town Council meeting acting as sewer commission is hereby accepted.
Move the resolution.
Second the resolution.
Moved and second, any discussion? Any public discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Reports, plant manager.
This is the superintendent's report for the month of March. Again, the treatment plant was running extremely well. We have had a lot of rain lately, so it's been tested, but we have not had any compliance issues. So for the month of March, the flows were still down a little bit. We got most of the rain here in April, so you'll see that next month. But the average daily flow was 6.4 million gallons a day. The BOD removal, again, as required, was 85%. We had 98.4. Suspended solids as required is 85. We had 99.2. Total nitrogen, we will begin that seasonal permit May 1st. So beginning in the June report, you'll start getting reports on nitrogen. And the phosphorus went, on April 1st, went from the 1.0 that you see here down to the 0.1 limit. So for the month of March, we were at 1.0 and we had a 0.66, so we were in compliance. And for the month of April, again, it's down to 0.1 and we are about 0.08 right now, so we should be in compliance for the first month of that seasonal test. Dry tons, 135.8 to the landfill, to resource recovery. Collection system backups, something I just talked about. Private lines 5, public lines 2. Training, unfortunately, we didn't get any in. Odor complaints were 0. Facility violations were 0. And the only thing I got to say is, again, the phosphorus we started, we put online on March 27th. And we begin our nutrient removal nitrogen on May 1st. And that'll run through October. And that's my report.
Any questions for Bernie? Thank you, Bernie.
Industrial pretreatment program report.
Jim Jeremiah is not here. He's homesick. So no report.
No report. Jim, hurry up and get healthy.
Yeah, I know. This is 2 in a row he's missed.
I know. 2 months in a row.
Financial update. Year-to-date operating and debt expenses for fiscal year 2017 as of March 31st is $5,610,362, or 67% of the annual budget. Cash and investments through March 31st, 2017 total $3,149,120. Fiscal year 2017 sewer usage collections through March 31st was 82% of the total billed, which is a 10% increase in collections as compared to the prior fiscal year. Fiscal year 2017 sewer assessment collections through March 31st was 113% of the total billed, which is a 12% increase in collections as compared to the prior fiscal year.
Any questions for Christine? Thank you, Christine.
Okay, resolutions. Request for fund transfer for upcoming wastewater projects. Resolved per recommendation of the superintendent of sewers that the town council president be authorized to approve the withdrawal from the sewer enterprise undesignated fund balance account. The transfer from the sewer enterprise undesignated fund balance account to the study cost account line 2000-5669 in the amount of $300,000. These funds will be allocated for a Rhode Island DEM mandated stormwater project and lighting upgrade for the plant.
Motion to move the resolution.
Second.
Bernie?
Yeah, I just want to explain a little bit of this. The biggest part of that project is for the National Grid lighting that I gave you a few minutes ago. And what I did was I went to a meeting several months ago. National Grid was there, and they're offering these incentives for the lighting. So I asked them to come down and take a look at the lighting at the treatment plant, and that's what this is. And quickly, in the 2-page thing is really what you're probably going to want to look at the most with the dollar figures. But some of the lighting at the treatment plant is 30 years old. T12 bulbs are in some of the lights in the administration building, which you can't even get anymore. And if you can get them, what we used to pay $2 a bulb is now $30 a bulb. So that's part of the project, is to replace them. I think there's a total of 659 fixtures that will be replaced at the treatment plant, from indoor lighting to outdoor lighting, we have pipe gallery lighting. Motion sensors will be put on. And if you look at this closely, the 639 fixtures existing is 84.73 kilowatt hours, or kilowatts, or 321,560 kilowatt hours per year. With this lighting proposal, they'll come in. The rebate is $33,590 off the top, and then the energy savings is $33,858 a year, with a payback of 4.9 years. That will be replacing every light down there at the treatment plant. If we do that, the new kilowatts would be 29.22, or for a total of kilowatt hours per year, 109,000. So savings of 211,000 kilowatt hours per year, which makes up the $33,858 savings. So I brought it to the subcommittee. They thought they liked it, so I'd like to move forward, and that's what this resolution's for.
Any questions for Bernie?
So, can I ask a quick question? The transfer of the money comes from a specific fund? This is not from the...
It comes from the unrestricted,
Okay.
the unrestricted wastewater fund. Just another note that we are also in the process of receiving $327,000 from the flood money that we never received. So that should be coming in. That will go into that unrestricted fund, and then we'll be taking some of that out.
And this will pay itself back in approximately 5 years?
4.9 years, yes.
Any other questions for Bernie? Any public comment? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Consent agenda, resolved that the consent agenda, having been posted, all matters having been referred to proper departments and being disposed of or awaiting recommendations, the same is hereby approved.
Move the resolution.
Second the resolution.
Moving second, any discussion? Any public discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Public comment on sewer commission. Hearing none,
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. 5-minute recess for Mary Ann to set up.